Whew. Whew. 59 points. 59 fucking points. Last night, Serbia beat Gilas Pilipinas by 59 points. As much as I want to keep it positive, it's tough to find something positive in a 59-point loss. Been looking forward to this week for a long time. And 2 games in, a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. Let's try to look at the footage, see what happened last night. Philippines comes down on the secondary break. CJ Perez, nice little floater, moved with decent pace last night. This is a nice little shot. CJ Perez has been a bright spot for the Philippines. He has probably been the best player over the first 2 games. And as crazy as this sounds, the Philippines losing by 59 points, they actually started out last night better than they did against Italy. It was 9-9. That's about as good as it got for the Philippines. But as you can see, Jokic is posted up on Japeth Aguilar. That's in the post. That's a threat. But as we saw against Italy, a lot of times these teams are not attacking the initial strong side post. Blatch has to help because Jokic has 1 foot in the lane. And when he goes to recover to the 7-footer, you're going to see a beautiful bounce pass by Jokic. Great cut and beautiful timing between the big men, interior passing here. Jokic, one of the best, if not the best in the world at passing for a center. Beautiful cut. And 1. As you're going to see, this guy is going to come off this way. This big guy being guarded by Japeth Aguilar. Japeth is not used to chasing shooters off the screens. And you can see right here, when he makes the mistake, instead of following, he tries to go over the top, which makes it a long recovery instead of trailing him. That's what you're taught. Japeth is normally not in this position. This guy is a shooter, and if you're that wide open, we've seen it before, your chances of making shots goes up incredibly. So a nice drive here by Serbia. See, it's going to be Perez who's going to attempt to close out, but look at all that space. Your offense should be designed to force long closeouts. If you continue to do that to your opponents, you will get quality opportunities. Attacks a bad closeout, hits the extra pass. There's Bogdanovic. A decent semi-contest here by Gabe, but it's a clean look for a marquee shooter. Shot clock running down. You can see down here it's at 6 seconds. The score is outrageous already. It's still 5 minutes left in the game, but 6 seconds left on the shot clock. That's when you have to settle for this type of shot. It's contested, not a lot of movement. Defense is right in front of you. Perez has good confidence. He makes that shot. And it was a nice shot by CJ Perez, but to consistently hit those type of shots is much more difficult than the shots you're seeing coming from Serbia. So that is when you need to take a contested shot with the shot clock running down. So what I said yesterday, if you notice what I said yesterday with the shot clock at 12, with the shot clock at 9, with the shot clock at 15, why not try to work for a
better shot because you can always take that type of shot. That's when you take that type of shot when the shot clock's under 5. Not when it's at 15, 9, 12, 11. You still have time to work to get an uncontested shot, to get the defense to make a mistake. That's what a good offense does. But this was a nice shot. He had to take it. And Perez can make some shots. Looks good. The one guy that looks good for the Philippines. Here they run a little baseline ball screen action on the strong side. You're going to notice the spacing here by Serbia. A guy opposite dead corner. A guy opposite wing. These two guys are on the ball. Who is going to bump the big man rolling to the basket? Maybe it should be Japeth. This is our Pagoy, small player. You'll see what happens because of their spacing, because Japeth doesn't bump him here, it forces an impossible help situation for the Philippines. And even if Pagoy commits a little earlier, that leaves this corner guy wide open, and Perez is going to have they're going to have a 2-on-1 over here. But this is a tough cover for a guard to come all the way from the corner to stop a lob dunk. It's just not going to happen. The idea on the defense here is when he comes off this ball screen, and it's not even a screen. It's not even a screen. There's no contact whatsoever, so Perez just gets beat. But it's kind of a fake screen. But the idea here is Blatch and Perez need to stop the ball. These 3 guys need to cover these 4 guys until he gives up the ball, and then they rotate all out, ideally. But here Perez gets beat. Blatch doesn't stop the ball. It results in an uncontested drop dunk. I mean, again, the Serbian could have easily taken a layup. He decides to drop it unselfishly to Boban for the Boban dunk. You can see their spacing again. They're just running a high ball screen here, but this guy, the corner guy is important for the guys to stay in the corner. These guys are 3-point threats. You get caught watching the ball on the weak side. Number 5 over here recognizes Paul Lee, has his back turned. And we have a dunk. And then the final score here, you see the final down here. That's a 59-point victory. Now there's some things I want to go over here, some of the stats. Assists, 37-14. Some of these are self-explanatory. I just want to make sure you guys see them. Field goals. So after the first 2 games, after playing Italy and Serbia, this is what it looks like. It's not pretty, but this is just evidence, data. This is what happened. This is not something biased, or this is unbiased as it gets. These are just facts. Opponents, 67, Philippines, 24. Who's running a more efficient offense? Field goal percentage, 67-38. 3-point field goal percentage. This is directly related to the quality of shots that we are creating compared to the ones our opponents are creating.
So, as you can see, it hasn't been pretty for the Philippines so far in these 2 games. I've been looking forward to this week for a long time. I wanted to see the Philippines play against the best teams in Europe to see what would happen, and it hasn't turned out great. And it really has me wondering and thinking about a lot of things. You got to give credit where credit's due. Serbia is ranked 4th in the world. They are favorites to medal, and they have a chance to win the gold medal in this tournament. So they're a good team. I think, yes, they were a little bit bigger than Italy even. They're a little bit bigger than we were. And they had talent. They definitely have talented players. And I think they're even a little bit more talented than Italy. And they showed that. So, yes, they're a good team. I didn't expect us to even beat them. I was hoping we could be competitive with them, at least for a half or for 3/4. I was optimistic that that was a possibility, but it didn't happen. We're never in the game. The game was over before halftime. Italy, they're ranked 13. Philippines, meanwhile, is ranked 31, in case you're wondering. But Italy, the game was over after the first quarter. It's been disappointing that we haven't been able to compete better. And it has me wondering, last time they were in the World Cup, they took Croatia to overtime or double overtime, and then they lost a close game to Argentina, I believe, and then they beat Senegal. And then a couple years ago with Tab Baldwin coaching, they lost to France by 8, I think, and they lost to New Zealand by maybe 11. No one likes losing, but in those types of games, you're in the game. You're competitive. These games have not been competitive. Well, we've lost by 46 and 59 points. So, if the Philippines were to beat a team by 59 points, what would you think of that team? You would think, oh, they don't really know how to play basketball there. Or they must have just started playing basketball. Which is, it's a shame to hear, but that's the reality of the situation. That's the way we would think if we beat somebody by 59. So that's what we are to Europe. What has happened? Have we gotten worse? Has our program gotten worse? I would like to think that we're always making progress, but the rest of the world is always making progress. Were those close losses, did they give us a false sense of accomplishment, that we were headed in the right direction because we only lost by a few points? And then that leads to us not fixing anything or not trying to improve or thinking we're on the right course, and then to basically get exposed here. This has been an eye-opening couple of days. They have another game against Angola. Angola's been better against Serbia than we were. They were better against Italy than we were. So they're probably the favorites going into that game. So we'll see how we do. And I know other Asian teams haven't won a game yet, but China's been competitive. Korea has been, they've lost. They've taken some losses, but they're not losing by 46 or 59 points. They lose by 18. They might lose by 20. Iran lost at the buzzer. The one thing that's very obvious, that stands out from the first two games is how efficient those European teams' offense is. We can't stop them. We haven't come close to stopping them. Serbia shot 75% from the field last night. Italy shot 58% from the field against us. So it was very obvious over 80 minutes we had no answer whatsoever for stopping their offense. But for whatever reason, we don't run that offense. That's one of the reasons actually why we can't stop it. Those teams are having a very easy time defending us. We're having a very difficult time getting a quality shot against those opponents. And we haven't come close to being able to defend anything that they threw out. And there's no doubt about it. Italy had talent. Serbia has talent. But they also have a mindset. They also have discipline to run their system. How many isolations did you see Gallinari take against us? How many dribbles did he take against us? What about Jokic? You think Jokic couldn't have scored 30 points last night easily against us? But he didn't. That's not going to beat the United States. And that's what their goal is. At some point, don't you have to be a little bit critical? If something has gone horribly wrong, don't you want to figure out why it went wrong? Why this has happened? If you think if you're going to act and you're going to think that everything's okay, then you're not going to improve. Despite these bad losses for the Philippines, I think it's been a great experience. Hopefully it's been an eye-opening experience, something that we can look at and it can motivate us to seek growth and seek improvement. I just hope this experience, as painful as it's been, I'm hoping that we can get some value out of it. It can serve as a motivator to improve, get better. That is my hope. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified on my upcoming videos. I'll be back very, very soon. Tomorrow, probably, after the Angola game. So enjoy the World Cup. Go Gilas, and we'll see you soon.